Hello again. Let's do some release work on the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, whatever they are. So I'd like you to focus on, perhaps you might have had a chance to just write down a couple of limiting beliefs that you think have been holding you back. You can use any one of the strategies in the Unzip book or any of the other programs to help you establish what those limiting beliefs are. But I want you to just choose one at a time and use this process a number of times for how many of the limiting beliefs you feel that you're holding on to at the moment that are holding you back. And remember, a limiting belief is something that it may have been useful for you to understand and to believe at some point in your life, or it may just have been a belief that you learned from somebody else that felt it was useful at that time. But at some point, if it's holding you back from what you want to achieve, then those beliefs become very limiting to your success. And so what we want to do is focus on the beliefs that are holding you stuck in the space that you're in right now and resisting moving forward. So what I'd love you to do is just think about one of the limiting beliefs that you feel has been holding you back, and just rub on the sore spot for me, just on the chest, just finding that spot either side. It works exactly the same. And as you rub on that spot, I just want you to simply say, even though I've been holding on to this limiting belief, just focus on that belief in your mind, just thinking about it. Even though I've been holding on to that limiting belief, it's time to let it go. That's it. And even though I've been holding on to that limiting belief, there's more opportunity in life if I let it go. That's it. And then I want you to tap or rub on the inside of the eye point, that limiting belief. On the outside of the eye, that limiting belief. Underneath the eye, that stuck limiting belief. Under the nose, that limiting belief. In the crease of the chin, it's time to let that limiting belief go. On the chest point again, it's time to let it go. That's it. Under the arm, it's time to let it go. I want you to tap or rub on the thumb point, just on the side of the nail there. I let that limiting belief go. On the index finger, that's it. Limiting beliefs. The middle finger, the limiting belief that held me back all this time. On the ring finger, all this time I've been held back by that limiting belief. On the little finger, whose belief is that anyway? On the karate chop point, it's time to let that limiting belief go. And there may be beliefs that are unhelpful to me. They may have been helpful at some point, or I may have simply learned them. But it's time to let them go. It's time to decide what I truly believe. It's time to decide what is truly possible for me. I let the limiting belief go. I forgive myself for holding on to it for all this time. I forgive myself. I release anyone who may have taught me this belief. I let it go. I release them to their own karma. I release them from the need for an apology. I forgive myself. And if I can't forgive them, I can at least release them and set myself free. So enough is enough. If I can forgive them, I simply do. I choose that now. And even though I may not even know who taught me that belief, it doesn't really matter. It's simply wiring in my brain. And I can switch it off. I choose to have different beliefs. I choose the beliefs that are right for me. I choose to believe I can, I will, and I do decide who I am and decide what I believe. I can do this. Enough is enough. Just because I learned one set of wiring doesn't mean I can't learn a different set. So enough is enough. A belief is just wiring in my brain. It doesn't make it true. It just makes it wiring. So I let that go. I switch it off, and I choose to believe differently. I choose to decide what I believe. Enough is enough. The past is the past. Limiting beliefs that have held me back. I set myself free, and I forgive myself. I forgive the belief for being in existence. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at all. It happened. It's over. And I have permission to move forward. I have permission to change my beliefs. I have permission to work out what I believe. I have permission to even ponder that for a while. It doesn't really matter. What matters really is to move forward. And I set myself free. I have permission to believe differently. I have permission to work out what I do believe. I have permission to be free, to choose my beliefs, to choose what works for me. I let this limiting belief go. I don't need it anymore. I release everything to set myself free, to be me, to decide what I do believe, to decide what's right for me. That's my choice. So 3 deep breaths for me. As you breathe out, I want you to use a somatic experience, so bring your hands and your body involved in that. I'd like you to imagine that you're cutting yourself free from that belief. So as you breathe out, I want you to actually use a scissor motion or a chopping motion or a separation motion, whatever it is that for you, if you involve your body in that, then the somatic experience will make it even more powerful. So I want you to imagine I release myself from that belief. I release myself from that belief. I release myself from that belief. I let it go. I release myself. I set it free. That's it. And one more. I let it go. That's it. Enough is enough. The past is the past. It happened. It's over. I set myself free.